What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta Reunion Season 14, Part 2. Part 1. Child, I'm trying to get this reunion over with fast, huh? Alright, you guys, but like I said, Season 14 Reunion Part 1. So, before we go ahead and get into this reunion, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys are not yet subscribed, that means you guys are doing me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know you can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out the way, without further ado, let's discuss The Real Housewives of Atlanta Reunion Part 1. Shall we? All right, you guys. So before I go ahead and get into the reunion, I do want to give a shout out. So I do want to say shout out to Miss Misha. Love her so much. She has been super supportive of me and my channel. So tomorrow, Misha has an interview with Kandi Burruss Tucker from Real Housewives of Atlanta. I believe it's 5 p.m. I don't know. I think that's Central Time because she's in Texas like me. So I'm thinking it might be Central Time. The information is on her community tab. Actually, I'm going to repost her on my community tab so that way you guys can see it. So yeah, she has an interview tomorrow with Kandi. Congratulations once again to Misha. And also, you guys, never really have interacted with Scotty, but I do want to, shout out to Scotty and to Jamar. Scotty and Jamar also have a interview with Kandi tomorrow on the Prelude. So go check out Scotty and Jamar when they interview Kandi tomorrow, and also be sure to check out Misha as well. So I'm gonna be on both of their chats. I'm just happy. I'm happy for everybody who's doing great things. So congratulations to both Misha, Scotty, and Jamar for their interviews tomorrow with Kandi. Now, let's go ahead and get into this review, shall we? All right, you guys. So the reunion, I'm still kind of confused about this seating chart. I think in my mind, I think I kind of made a little bit of sense about one side of the couch, but the other couch, I haven't quite figured it out just yet. I kind of figured it out, but then I was like, that doesn't make sense either. Because so I'm Andy. So to Andy's left, you have Sheree. I got that. Sheree is the OG, so you would have. So I was thinking they were going by seniority, right? But they're not, because you got Sheree. I'm like, okay, she was there the longest. But then you got Kenya next to Sheree. I'm like, no. If we were going seniority, it would be Sheree, Kandi, Kenya. Now the other couch, I do believe that might have been a little bit of seniority. I just still think that this seating chart is stupid. So you got Marlo, Drew, and Sanya. So I got that. But I'm still just kind of baffled by this seating chart, right? The women all look beautiful. I think they all look good. Now, like I had previously said, that Marlo's dress isn't my favorite dress, but sitting down it doesn't look nearly as bad as it did standing up, because I didn't like her dress, period. But sitting down, I'm like, okay, it looks a lot better sitting down. And that's not shade. That's just me saying the dress looks better, because they have to do that, fit the dress for them, because they're going to be sitting, so we're not going to be standing during the reunion. So I like that. So we talk about bone collecting, right? Who is the new bone collector? Who do you guys think is the new bone collector? I think this season collectively all the ladies have been bone collectors. I think Kandi has done her fair share of bone collecting. I think Sheree has done her fair share of it. Sanya, Kenya, Drew. Now Kandi says that Drew, that you are the bone collector because you literally threw the bones. Talking about when she threw the bones at, oh God, thank God that woman ain't there for tomb. And Drew was like, well, Sheree left some bones over, so I just gave them to her dog. And Sheree was like, I left some bones? Yeah, you left some bones. She's being shady. So then we do talk about Fatum. So Sheree says that, she didn't know that Fatum was going to say what she said at Brooklyn's birthday party. And if it was her, she wouldn't have said it, because she doesn't think that Ralph is gay. But you've made jokes about it. Oh, you know what, Sheree? You just lie. You just lie. She's a lie. That's what I'm going to call you as well. So Then Drew and Sanya got into it, right? Because with the bone collecting, we talked about the fact that Kenya went back and told Sanya that Drew said that she didn't have a mind of her own. Drew says, well, I stand on that. And she says, so Sanya got, honestly, you guys, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. So Sanya in this reunion, thumbs down, she fell flat. She did nothing. Nothing. And that's the one seat that I'm not understanding. Because Drew and Sanya going back and forth at each other, but Drew's having to turn to Sanya. Like it should. So if I were doing the reunion chart seating, I would have done Marlo. I would have kept Marlo at the front. I would have had Marlo. I would have had Kenya on one side next to Andy. Kenya or Candy, irreplaceable. They're both replaceable, right? So I would have either had Kenya or Candy. Actually, Marlo and Kenya, and then I would have had on another couch. I would have had Sheree, and then I would have had. I'm trying to think. Okay, so if I were doing it, I would have had it. I would have done Candy first, then Drew, then Kenya, and then on the other couch I would have done Sheree. Nope, Marlo, Sheree, and Sanya. Because what I'm thinking of it is, so I would have, because Marlo and Candy, they have a little bit of tiff right now, right? Then Drew and Sheree, a little bit of a tiff. Then Sanya and Kenya. Actually, that would have worked. That would have been perfect. And I'm not putting Kenya at the end because I don't think Kenya brought anything. I'm just putting Kenya at the end because I'm thinking about who all had who all, kind of had some headbutting this season. So that would have been a better seating than what the hell we got right here. But hey, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm just not gonna be able to be here for Drew and Sanya arguing and Drew having to turn around. And when Sanya gonna talk about Drew flipping her hair, well, girl, she's sitting right next to you. Y'all don't see it for each other. But hey, but Sanya said she got a mind of her own. Okay, I didn't see it because for the latter half of the season, you was up Marlo and Sheree's ass. So I didn't see it, but hey, she says she got a mind of her own. I just didn't see it. Let's pause here and move forward, you guys. Y'all, this part of the reunion mostly centered around Sheba. Her website is down. Actually, that website is back up now, but them fashions, they're still expensive, and I'm still not buying that shit, and you still don't have any other stuff from the season finale. So Andy's talking about the fact that she had a fashion show with fashions. So Andy said to her, Sheree, I go on to Sheba, the website is down, I can't buy anything. Oh, well, we're going to put everything up on finale night. Say what? Say who? Finale night was last Sunday. And remember, last Sunday, we all tried to go on your website and you said it was down. Then you come to us Monday with that crap that, I've already talked about Sheree. In this reunion, I finally put two and two together when it comes to Sheree. Sheree just does that. She has it like as a ace in the hole, right? So that, because when her storyline with Tyrone fell through, she's like, oh, let me go ahead and just revamp Sheba Sheree, knowing damn well she had no intentions of doing so, right? So she flat out lied on the reunion stage, right? So she says that, over the years, her main priority was her children. And Andy was like, well, why come you didn't say that? Because, at the season 10 reunion, when I asked you about Sheba Sheree, you said September, spring, summer. And she's like, y'all know how Sheree is. When Sheree starts lying, when Sheree lies, she stutters. Sheree lies, she stutters. I'm like, girl, you're lying. Because she couldn't get it out, right? So then they talk about the fact that Candy has been shady towards Sheree. So Candy says, well, she's been shady towards me. Sheree says, when have I been shady towards you? Are you kidding me? Roll the tapes back and let her see it. No, we're not going to do that. That's what Andy says. So let me go down the line of when. Well, let's talk about when you was with Marlo. That was shady. Exactly. When Marlo called her a hoe. When Marlo called Kenya and Candy hoes. When Marlo said that Candy doesn't give back to other people, that is a lie. Candy has a whole organization where she gives school clothes to the kids. I mean, not school clothes, but school supplies, right? She does for the kids. She has her Candy Cares. Like, girl, what? She doesn't give back. We saw her do Candy Cares last year with the pandemic. So she doesn't give back. Marlo, shut up and go to hell. So then they showed when Sheree was talking about, well, when Candy was talking about being worldwide. Well, she does Broadway, but that's only in New York. Like, you've been shady, Sheree. You've been shady. Just say, you know what, Candy, it was harmless shade, but and then she gonna sit there and say that Candy went on speak on it and used her as clickbait. I was like, clickbait? You, 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 clickbait. What kind of girl? You can't even get. You're not even getting traffic over there to Sheba. You need to stop that shit. Like, that ain't even getting no clickbait. Sheba, she's a fraud. Sheba, she ain't happening. Sheba, she don't pay people. We're gonna talk about that in just a minute too. So then somebody asked Sheree, you talk about dropping with Drew, but yet it took you years to build your home and to get these fashions up. So she says, well, Drew doesn't represent fitness or working out, and you don't represent fashion. You don't represent fashion. You represent stolen fashion. You represent fashion that, I mean, you know what? I'm not even okay. I don't even care where Sheree gets her money from, but the IRS might care. I'll say that. Girl, I hope that you paying your taxes. And especially with that house. Girl, I think the IRS might care. I don't care, but I'm pretty sure that at some point the IRS is going to look into you. And I hope you don't end up in prison like Tyrone was. I'm just saying. Because, I mean, your lifestyle has been, because you don't get money from Bob, lazy-eyed ass. Oh, God. Child, I'm not trying to be shady, but you know what? Let Sheree have it. So then somebody asked her, why did it take her so long to, get her fashions up? She says, greatness takes time. You call that great? Okay. So they asked her, oh, actually, it was a question about her paying people. She says, well, greatness takes time. That don't have nothing to do with you paying people, right? So Andy says, well, if people send you a bill, do you pay them? She says, well, it depends on what it is. It depends on what it is. No, ma'am. If someone does a service for you, you pay them what you owe them. So I'm trying to believe that when people say that Sheree don't pay them, I'm really believing it. And I believe Drew. I believe old boy that worked for Drew and Sheree. Like, I believe that you don't pay people for what the hell they do for you. And baby, I could never deal with Sheree. There is no way on God's green earth could I deal with Sheree. So now I get this. I got her logic. I know where she was going with the logic, but that still doesn't mean you don't pay people. Because what Sheree was trying to say is, if someone does a job for you, you don't like the job that they did, that doesn't mean that you don't pay the people. That means, you know what? That's like I've gotten my hair, it happened once before. Years ago, I got a haircut that my mom hated. And she still paid the woman, but she went to the barber that we were used to, and he fixed my head. She paid that woman, and she paid my barber. So she had to pay twice because it was a job, So anytime someone does something for you, you might not like the service that they provide to you, but you still owe them for that service. And like Kenya said, just don't use them again. Or unless you have a contract where it says, if you're not pleased with the product, then you don't have to pay me. But I don't know too many people who gonna do that. So learn how to pay people. Girl, learn how to pay people. So then someone asked Candy, like, why did she bring up off-camera stuff on camera? And Candy was like, well, if you talking about me and what I have not done, and then I'm gonna come back and use what I know about you. So then Marlo says, well, let me ask you a question, Candy. Did Todd not call me about a show? And she was like, no, he did not. So I'm lying, Candy. No, you called me about the show, and I talked to Todd, and I told Todd that we should help her. So this is back when this was a few years ago when Marlo wasn't on the show like that. So Todd called her, and we got her some deals. And so what Marlo and I saw snippets of this because I don't really watch Candy speak on it like that. And I haven't watched it in a while, but I do remember on Speak on it. I think it's with what is his name, DJ A1 or something like that. I think that's his name. I could be wrong, but I do know that on Speak on it, Candy was talking, and I saw this. I don't know where I saw this. I know I saw it on Speak on it, and I saw she said it somewhere else because she said it more than once, or it may have been more than one Speak on it. But I know Candy has mentioned the fact that where was it? Where was it? Was it Speak on it? It must have been Speak on it because I know Candy said that she had gotten Marlo a show on WeTV. I don't know what happened with the show, so I'm assuming. So Marlo says that I guess she didn't like what the contract was, so she turned it down. But Candy's whole thing is for you to get on national television and also on Carlos King's podcast and say that Candy doesn't help people, that's a blatant lie because she's helped you get a show. You just didn't take it. So miss her with the BS is basically what Candy is saying. You guys, once again, Sheree. This whole first part of the reunion just centered around Sheree, and I'm like, why? So we're talking about Sheree and Tyrone, right? So, oh, I forgot to mention that Sheree was talking about the fact that Candy was shading Tyrone. I think the whole viewing public shaded Tyrone and said the same thing that Candy said. I know for a fact I said the same thing that Candy said about Tyrone, that he got another woman. That's why he didn't come see you in Philly. He couldn't explain to that other woman why he was leaving to come see why he was leaving. So Andy asked her about her and Tyrone being celibate, right? So she says that she had sex with Tyrone once he got out of prison. So Andy says, so how did you guys go about becoming celibate? Sheree says that the sex wasn't that good and she was done. I was like, so the sex wasn't that good, but then you went to Philly to see him. He was supposed to come to New York to see you, but the sex wasn't that good and he was your storyline. Okay, Sheree. Once again, lying through your damn teeth. Girl, I ain't got no time for it. So then Andy has to bring up Martell of all people. I'm like, God, dog, here we go. So Andy asks her about her new guy. She's like, oh, yeah. He says, what did he say? She says that Martell is a nice guy. I'm like, a nice guy. Have you watched Love and Marriage Huntsville? Because I'm pretty positive you have. So she says he's a nice guy. So Andy says, what does he do? He cheats is what he does. She says, well, he's on another show and, he is in real estate. He cheats. So then someone asked him, why would you get with the man knowing what he did to his ex-wife? Do you ignore the red flags? She says, well, sometimes we do ignore the red flags. So Andy says, so what did he do to his ex-wife? Sheree pretends like she didn't know what he did to Mel. Kenya told it. She said he cheated on his ex-wife multiple times, and then the last time he came in with another baby. I was like, come on, Kenya. Y'all know I'm not the biggest fan of Kenya, but baby Kenya, I will say, me and my best friend, we were talking. We were texting the other day about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Well, actually, we were talking about Potomac, right? So my best friend is going to be joining me on here for some reviews for Real Housewives of Potomac. I want to put this on the forefront, you guys. This is my best friend. This is my sister. This has been my friend of 18 years, right? This is my friend of 18 years. This is my sister. So I'm saying this right here, right now. I love you guys to death, but I love her more than I love her more. That is my friend. That she's not going anywhere in my life. And I want everyone to respect my friend and respect my friend on this channel. So I'm saying why I'm saying that is because she likes Robin and she likes Giselle. I don't understand. I don't understand why she likes them, but she likes Robin and Giselle. So I just want to say here now, you guys, most of us don't like Robin and Giselle, but my friend does. And when she comes on here and she talks about them, we're going to have respect for her. We are going to show her respect. That is number one. That's all I got to say. When it comes to my sister, we're going to show her respect because I don't play behind, like, I won't play behind you guys, and I'm definitely not going to play behind her. I'm definitely not going to play behind her. That's out of the question. But we were talking about this season of Atlanta, and she was like, "Don't be mad at me, but I like Kenya this season." I was like, I like Kenya as well this season. I enjoyed Kenya this season. Kenya did not annoy me this season, and it was really refreshing. And I was just really happy when Kenya talked about what Martell had done. Sheree just gonna sit there and pretend like she don't know what the fuck Martell has done. Girl, stop lying. And then she said, "Oh yeah, he cheated." You okay with that? So then Sheree says, "Well, normally he wouldn't be somebody that I'd go for." She's like, he's a very handsome guy, and she's not someone who goes after looks. And Kenya was like, "We know, we saw Bob." When she said we saw Bob, I was like, "Oh my God, Kenya!" But you ain't lying. We saw Bob. So we move on from that. So then we talk about So then we move over to Sanya and Drew, you guys. I'm gonna move through this really quickly because I'm still quite confused about Sanya and Drew because I don't understand what the beef is, what the issue is. It's so Sanya says that she and Drew have she out of all the ladies on the couches, Drew is the only one she hasn't talked to, right? So then we go back to New York and remember when they went up there. Now see, you guys gotta jog my memory, guys, if I'm wrong. But from what I remember from when they were in New York, Sandy had the issue with Drew because of the situation that happened at Brooklyn's party between Drew and Sheree. She decided to call Drew out. Now, Sanya does say that she talked to Drew in the room with the makeup artist. If that's the case, why did you feel the need to bring it up in front of the ladies? It's a contradiction, sis. Like, if you mentioned it to Drew in the room with her and Ralph, why did you feel the need to bring it up again on camera? Because you said you had an off-camera conversation, so then you decided to bring it on camera. Seeing is a contradiction. You guys, and I know a lot of people say that they don't want Sanya to come back for season 15. I don't care if she comes back or not. I'm cool with or without Sanya returning for season 15. So then she starts fake crying. They talk about the whole clout chasing thing. You were clout chasing, sis. Just keep it real. You were clout chasing off of Kenya and Candy. They have the most followers out of anybody. She says, if I was clout chasing, why would I invite Drew with her 500,000, followers? I mean, shit, who knows? Who knows? Now, Drew does say that, she and Sanya, they got to know each other off camera, and she met her mom. She came to her mom's birthday party, and I introduced you to people. So, Sanya says, "Who did you introduce me to?" She says, "I introduced you to Shamia, who was at my house." Child, I really don't care. So then the last 15, 20 minutes of the episode was about Marlo. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I was not listening. I did not care. I'm not saying that I don't care about Marlo's story. I'm just saying that with Marlo and how she was this season, it just, for me, it just fell flat because granted, I heard her story. Her story is very sad. Like, if Marlo had come onto season 14 and showed that side of Marlo that was on the stage, I would feel so much more for Marlo. But no, Marlo came onto the show and she attacked so many people. She attacked Kenya. She attacked Candy. And we've heard about the things that were said off camera. Well, not off camera, but behind, I guess things that they didn't show. You guys remember that they said that she had said something about Blaze being a test tube baby, right? Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that was the rumor that was going around. You guys know that there was also a rumor going around that she had got Mark's phone number and was trying to call Mark to get dirt on Kenya. So we didn't see those things. So those things are now alleged. If they did hit, if she did do that, they're on the cutting room floor, and we probably won't ever see it unless they do a secret, which they probably will do a secrets revealed episode. If this is a 3-part reunion, if it's a 3-part reunion, they probably will do a secrets revealed because there's going to be a 1-week break between part 3 and the premiere of Potomac. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't listening to Marlo's story. Sorry, really wasn't, because it's interesting. she was talking about her nephew. She was talking about how she got put out of her house, got put out of foster homes, but you did the same thing to your nephews. That's what Candy was talking about, the contradiction. But okay, girl, that's it, you guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.